The following program contains explicit Christian values. If you suffer from the notion that all views deserve respect, Randall may not be right for you. Check with a progressive.
Speaking the truth when others hold their tongues. Wrestling for justice with left-wingers and crocodiles. Resisting the temptation to keep the peace at any price. The only talk show host who writes his own theme music, Randall Terry.
Yeah, I'm having one of those days. You bet I am. Hi, everyone. No! No! Yes. In Oren Hatch's book, Dirty and Nasty. Oh, so close. Welcome. I love you. And I thank you for being a part of this day's program. Oren Hatch, has he lost his mind? He's talking dirty. And Oren Hatch, is he dead on? He's talking nasty. Oren Hatch, he's trying to paint us all into a corner where we bow down like he did at the feet of Elena Kagan and say, Elena, we won't be dirty, we won't be nasty. Here, could I lie down and let you be? Could I let you walk over my back then? Elena, walk on me, darling. I won't be dirty and nasty unless it's for you. Today's program brought to you in part by the word dirty. Dirty is as dirty does. And by the word nasty. Sometimes it's gonna get a little nasty around here. And to weigh in on this incredible discussion about these two phenomenal words, we go to Grim Spectre. This guy gives me the creeps. Who hired him anyway?
Senator Oren Hatch, we love you here. You have rightly said that a filibuster against Kagan would be dirty and nasty. Senator, please hold the line. We must have Kagan on the court. We need more blood. And remember, sir, we've loved your work for years.
Welcome to today's program, friend. It is I, your servant, Randall. We're going to use this show today for a teaching moment with the help of Oren Hatch and some of our GOP leaders, Republican leaders, who have turned their back, as it were, on truth and justice and are trying to paint you and I into a corner that is at once obscene and absurd. One other quick point. Our friends inside the Beltway are addicted to these stupid pills. And more importantly, here in Washington, D.C., they are hoping, they're expecting you to take stupid pills so that you'll believe them. And when they make absurd and obscene statements, they're hoping that the stupid pills will affect your brain and you'll go, okay, that must be right because Oren has said so. Let's go to Oren Hatch. Oren Hatch, after grilling Elena Kagan on partial birth abortion, did a quick interview with ABC Evening News. And he, in that interview, said that he would not be filibustering Kagan and daring to speak for the entire Republican Party. He said that a filibuster would be dirty. Dirty? I feel slimy just hearing the word. Yes, dirty. But that wasn't enough for Oren Hatch. He had to use the N-word. Yeah, if you filibuster Kagan, you're nasty. Nasty? Is that like dirty squared? It sounds disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the point. Oren Hatch, that pathetic piece of work, yes, he is trying to corral all of the people taking their stupid pills, corral them into saying, oh, I don't want to be dirty.
I don't want to be nasty, so I guess we can't filibuster Kagan now, can we? Teacher, can I ask a question? What does dirty and nasty mean?
I'm glad you asked. I want to take a minute in today's show to look at the definitions for dirty and nasty. Let's look at them and see if they would apply to us who filibuster, or maybe to Oren, or to the GOP, or to some of the abominable evils that Kagan supports. Let's look together. Dirty. Lacking honesty or moral integrity, especially if the rules of a game or law have been broken. Well, let's start off by saying that it seems that our good friend Oren Hatch lacks a little bit of honesty and integrity, because part of the rules is that they can filibuster. So if you obey the rules of the Senate, you can filibuster. And he's saying that it's dirty if you obey the rules, which in effect means that he lacks honesty and moral integrity. But it also says laws have been broken. How about the laws of God? How about crazy laws like you shall not murder or you shall not commit adultery? In other words, we don't kill our babies, and marriage is between a man and a woman. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. So dirty would apply, as it appears, to Oren Hatch and to child killing and homosexual activity, which is something, of course, that Elena Kagan supports. Let's go on. Dirty, characterized by extreme meanness or cruelty. I ask you, my friend, what is more mean? What is more cruel than reaching into the womb of a woman who's pregnant with a new human being, made in the image of God, and ripping that child out limb from limb and then throwing the mangled remains in a dumpster, in a garbage disposal, or in a landfill? That's dirty. And opposing someone who supports that butchery is not dirty, it's just. But there's more. Dirty. Behaving in a nasty or despicable way. Need I belabor the point? Behaving in a nasty or despicable way? Tell me things that are more nasty and more despicable than trying to rip someone's right to self-defense away from them, which is embodied in part in our Second Amendment. Tell me something more nasty and despicable than two men saying that what we do constitutes the same thing as a marriage. Or how about something more nasty and despicable than killing a defenseless human being? That's dirty. Kagan supports it. That's dirty. And finally, dirty. A transitive verb to make something seem less honest or honorable, to dirty their reputation. Well, friends, that is exactly what Oren Hatch has done. By saying that it would be dirty to filibuster Kagan, he's dirtying our reputations who are calling for the filibuster. In other words, we're doing justice. We're doing that which is right and true and honorable by calling for her to be filibustered. But before we can get the momentum we need, he says to do that would be dirty, against the rules, dishonorable, despicable. Oren Hatch, God forgive you. God forgive you, because there's a lot of people in this life who won't. You have played to the hands of a child killer, a militant defender of the homosexual agenda, who would even put our military at risk, our national security at risk for her homosexual agenda. You have shown shame and dishonor to yourself and to your name by saying that we would be dirty and nasty if we filibuster somebody who wants to take away our right to self-defense. People, I'm going to give you a call to action when we come back from this break, and I'm going to show you the definitions, some of them, of the word nasty. Oren, you need to have a little dunce cap, and we're going to write on it, dirty boy, nasty boy.
People who say they're atheists are really stupid. If they live their life by that principle, they leave no room for error.
moments with Moses. There shall be no cult prostitute of the daughters of Israel, neither shall there be a cult prostitute of the sons of Israel.
Hello, friend. Welcome to the program. Using Oren Hatch's words, dirty and nasty, for a teaching moment, you decide if you want to be dirty and nasty or if you want to be just a little cowardly boy or girl who runs away and lets a tyrant take the Supreme Court. Nasty. Here's some definitions I found. Quote, showing spitefulness or malice. I can't think of anything that has more malice than killing a baby. I can't think of too many things more spiteful than the militant homosexuals knowing that what they do is a tragic, horrifying, self-destructive, sinful lifestyle. I can't think of much that would exceed that in spitefulness, except to say, and we want these acts to redefine marriage. That is sheer spite. Yeah, it's spite against God, God's laws, and against those of us that understand that marriage is between a man and a woman. It's them that are spiteful. It's those people that are filled with malice. And those are the people that Elena Kagan represents. And that's the direction she is going to take this court. I mean, think about it. It's obscene. All right, here's another definition. Ready? Ooh, I like this one. Repugnant, disgusting to the senses. That's what nasty is. You tell me, what's more repugnant than killing our own offspring? Stand over the graves, stand over the bodies that accumulate at these abortion mills and literally smell the decaying flesh of these babies. I'm sorry, forgive me, that was over the top, but you have to understand, Oren Hatch has lost his sense of reality. When you think of reality, you have to think in terms of these babies, the militant homosexuals, our ability to defend ourselves from would-be attackers. And when Oren Hatch says that we're nasty if we want to filibuster somebody who believes in these repugnant, disgusting to the senses things, it's not we who are dirty and nasty. It's him. Let's look at two more really quick. Ready? And this boils it down. Unpleasant, generally disagreeable, unpleasant, or causing discomfort. Oren, Senator Hatch, isn't that what this is really all about? That you don't want to go through the discomfort of having to stand and to fight for something as dirty and nasty as a filibuster of Kagan. And then the final definition, morally offensive or obscene. I'm going to tell you what is morally offensive and obscene. It's Oren Hatch saying that it would be dirty or nasty for us to filibuster Kagan. That, my friends, is what is morally offensive and obscene. I ask you, are you going to let this definition make you flee from the battlefield? Because that's really what this is all about. Will we take a strong stand publicly? Will we fight? Will we call for a filibuster while frightened people like Oren Hatch say, oh, that's dirty, oh, that's nasty, oh, that's unfair, and not flinch? We're fighting for the survival of this nation. We're fighting for the rights of babies. It's time that we did things that caused ourselves a little bit of discomfort and other people around us. Being comfortable and being pleasant is part of what has gotten us into this mess. Now, some of the things that you could do would be to protest. And I've got a couple of friends who were protesting yesterday in front of the Dirksen Senate office building. And some people going by took video, and one of the news sites, TPM or TDM, put it up on their site. And I have to say, blamed me for the guy's bad singing. All right, the devil costume guy is not me. I'm just going to say straight up, he did a good job, all right? But he doesn't really sing on key. I mean, you know, the point is this: be a fool for Christ. Be a fool for that which is true and just. because I'd rather be a fool for Christ and for justice than to be a wise and prudent man who sat on the sideline and did nothing. Look at these guys. Look at this clarity. Look at this courage. And Oren Hatch, you could learn a thing or two from these two men. Watch this. I'll be right back after the commercial break.
For it's true, Elena, you are my destiny. Well, you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. Elena, you're my dream come true, my one and only you.
We have got to name names in this battle. That is the history, that is the theology of the church. And if the IRS says, no, you can't name a name, you have to decide at that minute, who is the Lord of your tongue? Who is the Lord of your pen? Who is the Lord of the gospel? Is it Jesus or the IRS?
If we are together, nothing is impossible. If we are divided, all will fail. Sir Winston Churchill. Welcome back to the program, friend. It is I, your servant, Randall Terry. Here is your call to battle. Call your U.S. senators today. Don't put it off. Call today. 202-224-3121. You see the number there on your screen. Call them. And when you're on the phone with them, if it's a Democrat, say, I am insisting that you vote against Kagan. If it's a Republican, say that you are insisting that they filibuster her. And when you're on the air with the GOP, or rather on the phone with the GOP, tell them, ignore Oren Hatch. Say something about the absurdity and the obscenity of Oren Hatch's words, that it is dirty and nasty to filibuster. And one other thing, I brought this up yesterday and I want to say it again today. Many of you, good-hearted people, you are wasting your money by supporting certain groups here in Washington, D.C. Wasting your money. I'm talking about pro-life groups. I'm talking about groups that defend marriage. In a moment of crisis, when we need to be screaming our lungs out, howling our lungs out in very loud verbal protest, most of these groups are nowhere to be seen in the public square. They're in their comfortable air-conditioned offices. Lord knows what they're sucking down. And they're going to think of ways to raise money from you off of Elena Kagan. But they're not going to do too much except think of ways to raise money off you over Elena Kagan. And finding solace in the words that it would be, in fact, dirty and nasty to filibuster Kagan. And we're above that. We're above the political rumblings of the common people. Please, send us your money. It's obscene as well. Get a little dirty, get a little nasty, according to Oren Hatch's bizarre definition, but you will please the angels and you'll please the church militant and you'll please the victims that have died at the hand of people like Kagan who support the brutal murder of innocent children. I'm going to take a quick break. Be right back with a word from one of our forefathers. Don't go away. Let ruin come upon them unawares, and let the net which they hid ensnare them. Let them fall therein to ruin. Then my soul shall rejoice in the Lord, exulting in his deliverance. Amen. Hi, friend. I'm Randall Terry. George Washington said, if we desire to avoid insult, we must be able to repel it. If we desire to secure peace, one of the most powerful instruments of our rising prosperity, it must be known that we are at all times ready for war. These are militant words. I hope that you've noticed over the past couple weeks that as we've quoted George Washington, they're very militant. That is the spirit of the men that helped give birth to this nation. If you want to be like Oren Hatch, you're going to lose the country. By the way, we've got a close-up of Oren in his birthday suit. This is actually what he looked like on the day he was born. Isn't he cute? Oren, you fuzzy little chicken, you. All right, I'm joking. Don't be mad at me. It's a joke. My point is this. If we're going to prevail in the battles of good versus evil, we've got to be militant. It means that there's going to be conflict, and it won't be pleasant. Have a great weekend.